This is my cinema rig for the Canon R5C. It is a fairly compact cinema rig. It solves all my issues with the Canon R5C and it's very comfortable. That being said, if I have to go backpacking or traveling, or even if I want to take some photo with it, well, let's just say that it's not the most practical thing. So I had to find something smaller. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Robin. I'm a filmmaker and photographer based on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. And today I want to talk to you about a small kit I've made for the R5C. What you saw earlier was my rig for the R5C. It works great for filmmaking and you can see the details in the video above. But let's say I'm backpacking or traveling and I want to take a mix of video and photo with the R5C. I needed something smaller that still solved the issue of the battery and the lack of internal ND. And that's what I want to show you today. First, the cage. I use this small rig Black Mamba cage for the R5C and it's a bit different than the typical R5 and R6 cage. And you can see this by the small red ring here that's made to match the branding of the cinema line. This cage has a couple of other improvements to fit the R5C. The main one being there is an extra plate on the bottom that fits below the fan. And this is great because it has extra stabilities. And if you have a longer manifold plate and you wanted 2 points on your plates to make sure that the plate doesn't slide, you can actually do so with either 2/4 inch or you can do the bigger 5x8 screw. The cage comes with this clamp for USB-C and micro HDMI, which makes sure that all of your cable connections are secure. It also comes with the top handle that matches the design of the Black Mamba. It is a very comfortable handle. It has various mounting points on top and it's secure on the top of the cage by a Harry pin. And this is how the camera looks with the Black Mamba cage above it and the top handle on the side clamp. It is a very comfortable cage. You can almost leave it on if you wanted to. And on the right here, I added a wrist strap. This is more comfortable for me, especially with bigger lenses. And if I shoot above the water and the camera drops, I know it's more secure that way. So I wouldn't do that all the time, but you know there is this extra level of safety if you need to. I usually bring two lenses with me. The first one is the RF 24-70 f2.8. This is a stabilized lens. It is an excellent lens. It's very sharp. It's sometimes even too sharp, so I had filters on the front. But it just does the job. And compared to the previous EF version, it's stabilized and it works very well with the digital IS on the R5C. So I would say that 80% of the time, this lens doesn't leave my R5C. My next lens is a super telephoto. This is the 100-400mm V2 EF mount. This for the longest time was my dream lens. I got it last year, 2 years ago actually, and I just love it to capture in the mountains, far up subject, or here on the coast if I want to capture wildlife. This is a very, very good lens. It is quite heavy and fully out. It is a bigger lens, but it does fit really well on the R5C. And like I said, if you use the wear strap, it also adds extra support. So I've actually used this lens handheld. At 60 FPS or 120 FPS, and you can actually get some very decent steady shots because it also comes with IS. Since this is an EF lens, I need some sort of adapter to bring my EF onto my RF mount. And I chose this very little nifty adapter made by Mikey. This is from obviously EF lens to RF, but it does have an extra features, and that being a drop-in ND filters. So this is basically a clone from the Canon versions, except this one is much cheaper. I found that the quality of the VND is the same, and the Mikey also comes in the box with the clear ND and the VND. So you have both because you have to remember when using any type of glass between the back of the lens and the front of the sensor. If I was to use just that way, I wouldn't be able to focus at infinity. So you always need a piece of glass in between. So most of the time I would have this drop-in ND filters, but when I come into low light situation, I can use a clear filter. And for some of you that only use EF glass, you could basically leave this mounted on your R5C, and suddenly with the Mikey and drop-in filter, you upgraded your R5C and it does now technically have internal ND filters. If I use my 24-70, which is RF, I do need some filters on the front of the lens. I choose the Freewell magnetic filter kit. This is 5 filters that comes in this neat little package. It has 2 variable NDs from 2 to 5 and 6 to 9. And the great thing about them is that first of all, they're magnetic, but they're also reversible. So on this one, this is a 6-9, and on the other side, I have an ND filter 32 plus polarizer, which is very useful for photography. And the reason why I got this kit in particular is because I needed something where I could also use for photo and video. So this is a great addition to a minimal kit, as I can do both photo and video with it. This is the first version. Freewell recently announced the K2, which is the Mark II of this. It's currently being kickstarted, I believe, and a couple of the improvements was the VND are now what we call true color VND. These have a slight color shift, but I found it's very consistent throughout the 2 to 5 stop or the 6 to 9, so I'm able to easily fix it in post-productions. And sometimes I will even put the two custom balance, one set for the first filter and the second white balance for the second filters, and that works well. So far I was able to solve the issue of the R5C lacking internal ND. The next thing in our list is the battery. It uses the same LP batteries as the R5 and R6. And the batteries are great, but for this type of cameras, they're just too small. 4K 24p, for example, this battery will last you less than an hour. So unless you have like a backpack filled with those batteries, you will need some sort of like external power. On general uses, I would use a V-mount, but the V-mount isn't necessarily the most useful. It's kind of square and bulky. So when I'm backpacking, I found much easier to use one of those power banks. This is a RAV Power. It has the same capacity as my small V-mount battery. It also goes in the plane, which is great. And I can recharge through USB-C to USB-C onto the R5. And with this power bank, I can shoot roughly 8 to 9 hours of video. And if I shoot a mix of photo and video, this type of battery will last me for a couple of days. So they're also fairly cheaper than V-mount. So this is a great addition. You just have to make sure that the power delivery PD on your power bank is able to power up the R5C, because it does require a higher power source. So this type of power bank is what I use when I'm traveling or backpacking. This is a great tool, and I can also charge my phone if I need. It even powers the MacBooks. But obviously, if you use this battery for all of those devices, it's going to deplete really quickly. So you could potentially buy a couple of them. I've been using this for like a couple of days, charging my phone and the R5C, and it held me for about 2 to 3 days. But you may ask, how do I mount this on the camera? Well, I don't. I actually have a belt pouch for this that came with this power bank, and I have a very long USB-C cable, USB to USB-C cable that just dangle around. I've been hiking with this, and I have a strap for the camera, and I've never had any issue because I have the clamp here which secure the USB connections. It can look odd if you have a cable dangling from your waist up to your camera. But the great thing is that it also recharges the battery. So if I see that my battery is depleted, I can just charge it while I hike up to the next point, for example. So this is very convenient just to unplug it and replug it depending on your needs. And the next thing is obviously you need those official Canon batteries. They have the small stickers here. Those are the LPE6NH. Very important to get those and not other brand, because I bought 2 LPE, the H versions by Small Rig, and they're incompatible with the camera. You'll have a message when you turn on the camera telling you that the power source is incompatible. So I didn't want to try it, so I'm only using these. I have 3 of those that I usually bring with me, and using these 3 batteries alongside the power bank, this is enough to solve my issue with power. I usually have in my bag this Video Mic Pro. It's always in there alongside the Rode Mic Go. I have the V2, which is like 1 receiver and 2 transmitters. So I don't always have this on the camera because I don't always need to record sound, but if I do need it, I have it there. I use the Peak design throughout my kit so I can hot swap between cameras and accessories. First is this ACCESSORY bottom plate that is going to come below the cage here. I can also use those plates on a tripod or on the mount I have on my backpack. If I'm using a video tripod, I use these Small Rig plates. This is made for the RS2 and it's compatible with any type of ACCESSORY plate. Those are great because I can use those not only on my gimbal, but also on a man-for a tripod, for example. So I have a couple of those and they're very useful. Finally, for the strap, I use the Peak Design leash. It's a very small camera strap, but it is strong enough to accommodate for the R5C and the bigger lens. I've used those for the past years and it works great. I have the larger versions when I use for the Blackmagic, for example, but for this small setup, this just is perfect. And this is how it looks like fully assembled. Like I said, so you have the mic that I don't always have it there. I have the small plates here when I use it on the tripod, for instance, so I'll just quickly remove it. and then the straps here. So when backpacking, this is perfect. So I either have it like on the side, or like I said, I put it into like the camera clip on my backpack. And finally the long cable, which connects to the batteries and the pouch. This is not the most elegant way of recharging the battery, but when I'm hiking, I don't really care, and it does really work really well. That way I can not only shoot for video and for photo, because I still have access to the viewfinder. And even with the handle on, I can still access the viewfinder here. This is great for photo, but I also enjoy shooting video with the viewfinders, because on bright days, it's easier to see than on the screen. And on top of that, it's also more steady to be shooting that way than being shooting like this, for example. And on the top handle, let's say I want to shoot like a lowest angle, I can still access my handle here. So this is really useful. I've been hiking with this, having on the side of the bag. It is heavy, but it's still doable. And other times I just carry the camera by the top handle. And in the front, you do have the freewheel system. This is great. I currently have the 225, but I can swap to 6 to 9 if it's too bright. And let's say I do want to take some photo with the polarizer, I just have to swap and boom, I have a polarizer for photo. So a small mistake I found while editing this video is it's not that fast to swap between the VND and the polarizer. And that's because to use the VND, there is a VND base, and this is basically these two are two polarizer, and use two polarizer, that's how you got your VND effect. And if you swap to the CPL, right now I just swap to the CPL, and if you leave the VND base, it won't work. You'll have a very odd color cast while using the CPL. So to use the CPL from the VND, you have to go inside and remove the base here without making it fall. And there, now you can swap in and put your CPL, which will work like a normal CPL. So it's a small thing to keep in mind if you want to swap very quickly between the VND and the CPL. The other thing to note with this cage and the Mikey adapter is that you cannot remove the drop-in filter while being on the camera. So that can be an issue for some people. So you have to remove the full thing to be able to access the drop-in filter. That's one thing to keep in mind when using an adapter with the black mamba cage on the R5C. And this is my minimal kit with the Canon R5C. Like I've said, I've used this on multiple backpacking trips or when traveling, and just this suit perfectly my need, and it still covered the issue with the R5C, which were, like we said, the internal NDs and the batteries being too small. I've also included a list of all of those items in the description below if you want to check them out. That's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. And if you did, please consider subscribing and liking this video so I can do more in the future. See you next time.